With any new business startup, there are a series of milestones that have to be hurdled before you reach escape velocity and are covering your expenses and making a profit. Initially at the idea stage, the costs are minimal since it's mainly focused on brainstorming, research, and planning. At this stage, most founders can easily cover their expenses. Further down the road, however, each successive milestone will require more and more capital to accomplish as you ramp up from an idea to a viable business. Inevitably, most companies will arrive at a point where they lack the capital to achieve their next milestone. Oftentimes, these founders will then go to family and friends to raise seed capital. In the US, over $60 billion of seed capital is raised this way annually. Although this is a friendly source of money, it has its limitations. The average amount of seed capital raised from this source ranges from between $25,000 to $100,000. After your company has tapped out your friends and family for money, you will be forced to either borrow money or raise money from outside sources. If you're like most new business founders, you've already maxed out your credit cards. You may have already tapped out your home equity. Without collateral, borrowing money is not a realistic option. Outside sources of money, such as angel investors, is oftentimes not an option either. This is because the scale of your business is often not large enough to attract angel investment. Another reason investors might not be comfortable investing in your company is that you might not have achieved enough of your business milestones to reduce your risk of failure. When you're stuck in neutral and you can't borrow money or raise money, you need to consider outside-the-box solutions. One possibility is to create a listing on NewBusinessCreator.com. This website brings entrepreneurs together with people or businesses that can provide research and development, services, materials, equipment, finished products, office space, retail space, warehouse space, or marketing. In return, these entrepreneurs will give equity, future royalties, or a percentage of sales in their business. These types of arrangements can potentially work out very well for everyone concerned. However, they should be mostly reserved for businesses that are not planning on raising outside angel or venture capital in the future. The reason for this is that investors want clean deals. You will find it very difficult to get them on board if you have promised royalties, a percentage of sales, or if you've given away equity to business vendors. Another thing you must always keep in mind whenever you give away shares in your business for someone's participation is that you should do it only when it's absolutely necessary. You should also strive to retain as much ownership as possible. Keep in mind that you will most likely be undergoing further equity dilutions if you end up seeking angel or venture capital at a later time. As a result, the more of your company that you retain over time, the higher your payday will be when your company makes it big in the end. Another potential negative about giving equity for someone's participation is that it can be often very difficult and expensive to reverse an equity deal when shares are already given. You need to consider worst case scenarios when doing deals like these. Oftentimes, a potential partner will be very enthusiastic in the beginning but lose interest as time goes on. One option you can consider to mitigate your risk of giving away equity and not getting the goods is to have an agreement where the shares are vested over time. When you do this, you can limit the number of shares given if your relationship sours, or if they fail to deliver on what they were supposed to give you for shares in your company. There's another factor that you must contend with when you use equity, future royalties, or a percentage of future sales to obtain someone's participation. Since they are more of a promise of potential earnings rather than actual earnings, they inherently have less value. Therefore, when you use this approach, you will almost always be forced to give away a lot more equity or future profits than what it would cost you if you paid for them up front. In order to reduce this cost differential, you'll need to give a compelling pitch that will persuade potential participants that your business idea has legs and that it will generate them a great deal of money. One other thing you need to do when doing these kinds of deals is to have a licensed real estate or business broker or an attorney in your area finalize any potential transactions you initially come up with. Getting the contract done right is critical in order to prevent misunderstandings and to provide remedies if the deal goes sour. In summary, if you can't obtain working capital and you're looking for outside-the-box business solutions, using equity, future royalties, or a percentage of future sales might be a lifeline that gets your business going. If you've made a decision to use this approach, NewBusinessCreator.com is the best place to make a connection with a person or business that can solve your critical need. What you're willing to trade for someone's participation in your business is really up to you. What is offered in your listing is only limited by your imagination. So why not give it a try? Go and check out your options for getting what you need at NewBusinessTrade.com. With any